is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, today I'm going to discuss the fact that white people don't recognize half white. I'm addressing this because in my last video with Dr. Cornel West and his new wife, who is a white Iranian woman, someone in the comment section asked the question, what is white? So now all of a sudden black people don't know what white is. Or somebody said, I don't have a problem with her white because she's not American white, is really what it came down to. But black people, and only black people, are confused about this. Everybody else knows what white is and they know what black is. This question has come up in different ways on other channels that black people operate. And I have heard black people trying to explain the difference between race, ethnicity, and nationality. Basically, there are three races: the black, the white, and the mixed. So to simplify things, this woman is a white Iranian. These people are black Iranians. And this young woman, who is part African American and part Iranian, is a mixed Iranian. Now, according to the system that we live in the United States of America, a person is black if they have one drop of African blood. Now, how is that one drop measured? Well, it really isn't measured. People go by your phenotype. They go by your skin tone, your features, and your hair texture. So if your phenotype is that of what is deemed a white person in the United States, as long as you don't have anybody black adjacent to you, then you can pass for white. There's a lot of information that's been written about black people passing for white. That's what it's called. When you have one drop of black blood, or 20 drops, or 100 drops, and nobody can detect it, and you disassociate yourself from black people, then you are eligible to pass for white. But if you have a black phenotype, you have dark skin, and a certain set of features, and a particular type of hair texture, you know doggone well you're black. So y'all act like y'all don't know what black is. I can't even get over that as long as we've been having this discussion. Some say, well, it's a social construct. Well, it might be a social construct. Some people say, well, this is just what white supremacy came up with. Well, it is. This is what white people came up with to distinguish the races and to justify whatever they were doing, abusive, oppressive, exploitative to black people, because they decided that you were stigmatized if your skin was black, you were less than, less human, and not deserving of your God-given humanity. So that's what we got when we got to the United States. So whether it's a social construct, whether it's part of white supremacy, whatever it is, America has designated racial categories to everybody. So you're black, you're white, you're Asian, you're Mexican, you're this, you're that, or the other. But pretty much everybody knows where they fit, except some black people who want to pretend what is black. Well, that's what black is, whatever you look like. If you look like a black person, you're black. Now, there are those who try to get out of it. And we have seen this. And people will say, well, no, she's not black, she's mixed. Or she's half white. Now we have enough information to call it that white people do not recognize half white. Now, case in point. This beautiful young woman's name is Kristen Welker. She is a television journalist working for NBC News. She is presently serving as the White House correspondent based in Washington, D.C., and co-anchor of Weekend Today, the Saturday edition of Today, alongside Peter Alexander. She is slated to take over hosting duties for the longest-running program in television history, Meet the Press, in September 2023. So Kristen Welker has worked her way up in the NBC corporation to take the job of a white man, Chuck Todd, who says he's going to go off and spend more time with his family. That's usually what they say when they've been fired or when they're about to be fired, so they go ahead and quit before they get fired. So she has done pretty well for herself. Kristen Welker is a biracial woman with a black mother and a white father. Here are her parents. She's been around for a while, and really she has proven herself as a very capable and competent journalist. She's played by the rules. She's never been involved in any kind of scandal that I've heard about. I don't know how she identifies on the racial spectrum, but she's married to a white man, and here's her family, her husband and her young baby. So with her professionalism, with the amount of time that she's been in Washington doing such a competent job, and being married to a very Anglo-looking white man, and I believe she was married to another one before she married this one, and here's that picture, you would think that Kristen Welker had transcended race, that her reputation and her body of work would speak for herself, and that nobody would ever have to mention her race, especially since she and her mother chose non-black men for their spouses. You would just think that that would no longer be an issue for her. This is a headline from Lifestyle magazine. Kristen Welker to make history as first black Meet the Press moderator. See, she couldn't just be Kristen Welker makes history as the first woman moderator of Meet the Press. I don't know if they had a woman before then, but they could have said something different. But Kristen Welker is half white. She's biracial. You can call that half white. But the people who write these things do not recognize half white. So when people say, well, what is black? What is black? Well, this is what black is. Black is the person who has 1 drop or 10 drops or 15 or 20 or 100,000 drops of black blood, of African blood. That's what black is. This woman looks mixed. She looks mixed. They could have said she was the first mixed woman, but no, they consider her black. She has a black mother. She can't pass. She can't pass for white, but she could pass for mixed. But in America, it's important that it's pointed out that she is black. Now, this article came from Essence Magazine. Same thing. Kristen Welker to become first black host of Meet the Press. Now, Essence Magazine, which is a magazine that's geared to black women, may have done it for different reasons. This might have been just to brag that a black woman got this job or whatever. But the fact remains, this woman is mixed. She is a biracial woman, but nobody seems to be willing to acknowledge this. In America, race is very important. It was always important. And one of the reasons is that everybody's identity is tied up with black people being seen as the bottom caste. And we even no longer see ourselves as bottom caste. Many of us don't, and many never did. But other people see it. They need us to be black. They need black to be a stigma. That they need black to be lower than what they are so they can feel good about themselves. Now that's what I say, because that's how I see it. But when you say, what is black? This is what black is anything that can't pass for white. And whether it's a social construct, whether it's a mechanism of white supremacy, no matter what it is, that's what we do in America. We identify people by race. Hopefully the day will come where we can evolve into a human race and identifying people by their skin tone won't be necessary. But right now, we still get identified by race. Black is anything that can't pass for white. Mixed in the United States is a buffer. It can sometimes smooth the waters between black and white. But when you shuck it down to a cob and a decision has to be made, mixed is black. I realize that many African descended people in the United States do not like to be called black because there's a stigma attached to it. The stigma of poverty, of bottom caste, of not being able to get ahead, of not being able to get an education. All of the negative things that have been associated with blackness is why so many black people don't want to be called black. But to me, black is resilience, it's beautiful, it's talent, it's surviving, it's being. And to me, it seems like it's what a lot of other people want to be, because as much as they talk about being black, they are obsessed with it. They can't leave black people alone. So there's something to be said for that. If black is so terrible, why can't you leave black people alone? So anyway, black is pretty much anybody that can't be white. And if you didn't know, now you know. Okay? Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.